Welcome to the Smack Raw podcast. We are your hosts, Kyle and Rob Rude. We're your one-stop shop for your Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-view recaps and predictions. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/SmackRaw podcast. We are also on the Podbean at smackrawpod.podbean.com. Follow us on Twitter at The Kai Tai Show and add 2 words, Can't See Me. Yeah, give us a like, share, and follow. Talk to us, hell. See what's up, man. We always love to hear from you guys. Rob, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Get ready to start this episode 1 for our listeners. Get ourselves out there. Say hi to the world.
Debut episode. Nice. Can't wait. Hopefully I didn't max out your levels there. I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, it's
Rob,
all right. Episode 1, man. Episode 1.
We're going to get all the rough stuff out of the way. Before we get into it, Rob, do anything fun over the weekend?
Honestly, not really, man. I work a lot. I work a lot of hours, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
I worked hours. I took care of my children. I adulted, and then I made sure we were set up to do our recording right now. And that's what I did.
I attempted to wild out. I went to that Epic Center Music Festival. Got to see Korn live. There was about 60 some odd bands that played. I saw Korn because the festival was a disaster.
You texted me that. I didn't even know Korn was still a thing, man. Honestly, I thought they weren't even around anymore.
Man, we showed up at Rockingham, North Carolina. It took us over an hour once we arrived to the venue to get into the venue. Then we my little cousin, she's 18, so of course she had to see Machine Gun Killer. That was fun. But got to see Korn that night. Then the next day, while we were waiting for some other friends to show up, and we were going to see Yellow Wolf and Tool, Storm ran us over, man. They shut down the venue for the night. By the end of Saturday night, dude, we went home. We said, F this. We couldn't take it. It was a disaster, man. Oh, my God. I'm trying to get refunds. Ooh. But saw that here's one for you, though, because I know you're the Pokemon lover. I went and saw Detective Pikachu today.
I still haven't seen it yet.
Dude, it was so fun. Love it, dude. Ryan Reynolds, man, is awesome as Pikachu. Not going to lie.
I'm going to have to find me a Twilight time, man, because I got 4 kids, bro. Well, 3 that are old enough to go to the theater. I can't go see Pokemon without them. I can't.
No.
I can't do it. And, tickets are $20, man. So it's an $80 trip. It's not worth it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
yeah,
Pikachu.
Dude.
It's not worth it.
Man, if you didn't have so many kids.
I would have saw it twice by now.
But,
good time. I'm actually sitting here just for the record. I'm going to put this on Twitter. I'm drinking my Captain Morgan out of my Detective Pikachu
Captain
cup.
Morgan.
It's wifey bought me a Detective Pikachu cup, and it's my favorite cup in the whole
Take it slow,
world.
man. We got a long show to get through, all right? Anyways, we just got done watching SmackDown. What was your thoughts on both Raw and SmackDown this week?
I enjoyed Raw. I enjoyed SmackDown. I look at the shows for what they are, and I take the good out of them, and that's just me.
Man, I'll give it I try not to be cynical. I really do try to lie on the optimism side, but the last couple of weeks have been tough. But I'll give Raw, between Raw and SmackDown, Raw took it this week, and I'm a big SmackDown fan. But Raw just seemed to have the full package. SmackDown, I'm not going to lie, dude, it felt like just half of it was video recaps and video packages. Not going to lie. But there was some good stuff in there. Not gonna downplay it too much. But dude, we got to see Bray Wyatt's new transformation.
Oh my God, bro! My kids didn't see it last night. They were on the couch tonight. I'm a bad father. I was waiting.
Stuff of nightmares. Jesus.
My man looking like he hanging out with Corey Taylor and Slipknot for real, man.
Dude, I was about to say it's in my notes, man. But he reminds me of early 2000s Slipknot, man.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, holy cow, dude.
People talking about it on Twitter. I swear to God, I linked a Heretic Anthem video 25 times.
Oh man, Corey Taylor, man, is probably gonna want to hit up Bray Wyatt's costume designer for sure.
He's gonna hit up Vince for royalties. What are you talking about?
Are you kidding me? Well, I saw some Beetlejuice flavor in there too, though.
That's valid. And what about Rabbit? What about
the
Rabbit, or Ramblin' Rabbit, whatever the hell his name is?
He made his one appearance. He was one and done. So
he came back to life, though. They didn't say anything. He's just back to life.
I caught that, too. Yeah. I wonder if they pre-taped that.
No,
I didn't even notice that when I saw it,
I
man.
don't think so. I think they put a lot into the Firefly Funhouse because they know how big it is. I don't think they
Yeah.
would miss something like that. I mean, maybe they did.
Yeah,
I don't
you
know,
can't put
but
anything by them, man.
yeah,
You
that's
can't put
valid.
anything by Raw at this point.
Oh,
But
that is valid. That is valid.
yeah, man. Well, anyways, let's get into it, man. We got a long show ahead of us. Raw opened from the O2 Arena in London, England. We kicked off the show with some Miz TV. He brought out everyone's favorite guest, Roman Reigns, and guess what? London is not into Roman, dude. They booed him. Probably the biggest boos he's got still since his illness, man. But I think he brought it back, though. I do think he brought it back. I think Roman, like, they're trying to avoid the overexposure of him, and I do think they're undoing some of the damage. I just believe a lot of people have that have their guard up because they're just expecting Roman just any week now to come out and be Mr. John Cena 2.0, and they're just ready to hate. But I will say one thing: as many boos as he got, by the time that segment ended, they had people cheering for him. They did have people cheering for him.
They were cheering. He did pull out a good segment. But speaking of boos and chants, that walk with Elias chant.
Yeah, dude. England loves Elias. Yeah, dude. Like they instantly were chanting like "Walk with Elias" or however they fucking I can't remember. But yeah, they were loving it, man. The Miz was out there doing his Miz shtick, and I love the continuity because he goes out there and he's doing his whole condescending trip from when he was a heel, and he was saying that he was plugging Roman's movie with The Rock, the new Fast and the Furious spinoff. And he was like, "Yeah, this is motivating me. We need to do a buddy cop movie starring Roman and the Miz." And I loved Roman's reply was like, "Dude, I came out here to talk to the new Miz. Don't give me the old Miz." And I love it, dude, when Raw can actually have some continuity, man. I actually kind of pop for that. Before too long, though, out came Shane McMahon claiming that, he still runs the show, which means he's going to be canceling Miz TV. That kind of begs the question, like, why didn't you just cancel it backstage? Why'd you even let him get out there and get the majority of the show done? But as he cancels Miz TV, we get Elias and Bobby Lashley jump them from behind, and you know what that means. Tag match on the spot.
As always. That's been every opener for the last 3 years. I mean,
This is predictable nowadays, man. Oh my god. I swear, if you've watched the product for like the last 3 years, you can write the show as it's going on. You can really kind of, which does make those moments that catch you off guard, though, does make them a lot more meaningful, in my opinion. Well, anyways, tag match starts. You got the Miz and Roman Reigns. You got like the odd couple here taking on Bobby Lashley and Elias, just your Raw mid card of doom. Match honestly seemed pretty standard. I will say that I was shocked though that Roman was getting cheers. People were chanting for Roman to get tagged in throughout the match. But essentially, before we could even get Roman in there, you got the Miz coming out and getting this team DQ'd just for a standard beatdown. During the beatdown, though, you get Roman Reigns comes out, jumps over the top rope. That's always fun to see a guy who's probably like, 6'4"?
6'4", 400 pounds, all muscle.
Jesus.
Boom.
All muscle, dude, can just launch himself over those top ropes.
I do want to plug Elias's Undertaker walk when he walked on the top rope like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. I forget who he had, Reigns or The Miz, whichever. But I did know that he did the rope walk. Like it was
the old school.
Yes.
Yeah, he breaks it out every now and then. You know what? I've never really connected the two for some reason. But you're right. He does do that from time to time. But anyways, Roman jumps over the top rope. Miz grabs a chair, runs off Shane and Elias and Lashley. You got your faces standing tall during the opening segment of Raw. Pretty good so far. We cut to commercial break. We come back to a promo package of Seth Rollins and AJ Styles for their match at Money in the Bank. Apparently, these two faced off 15 years ago on the indie circuit, man, where AJ won. And At the end of the match, he put over Seth Rollins, calling him the future.
Didn't Seth like take the mic and say like keep an eye out for this guy or whatever it was?
No, it was the other way around. So AJ was the veteran at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Seth was super young because he's still young. Seth is probably like my age, and I mean I'm 31, so Seth is roughly around there. But when they faced off 15 years ago, that put Seth maybe even in his teenage years. But yeah, AJ said, this guy's the future, and fast forward a decade and a half, and you've got two guys that have done everything you can do, in WWE. So I thought that was pretty cool. We follow that up with a recap of last week where Strowman attempted to murder Sami Zayn by throwing him in a dumpster. And apparently the arena has the latest trash service I've ever seen.
I was thinking that same thing.
Oh my God.
I was picking up garbage at 8:30 at night.
Jesus. Dude, Braun Strowman's got the best timing on the planet, son. They did that.
I do want to throw out that when the crowd chanted "take a shower," I really want that to be a thing. I don't know if that happened in this promo or whatever, but I do remember the crowd chanting "take a shower," and I want that to be the new thing when Zayn shows up, but it's not. It would have happened by now.
I mean, they'd have to probably play into it some more, but you're right. Yeah, man, they were giving it to him. Well, backstage, Zayn is being interviewed. Excuse me. Strowman is actually being interviewed backstage, where stagehand lets him know that Shane McMahon wants to see him, probably to go over, the attempted murder and, possibly that Strowman can't be on TV anymore. But we cut to commercial break. Back from commercial, we got Sami complaining to Shane, of course, about the incident. Zayn wants Braun out of Money in the Bank, thinks his actions should disqualify him. Before Shane can make up his mind, Sami even offers to face Braun in a match, which you would think is suicide. So I was kind of shocked by that. But Shane's more than happy to oblige, and they even make it a Falls Count Anywhere match. I did kind of pop, though, for when Braun looked at Sami and's like, "I'm going to eat you alive." I thought that shit was perfect, dude. I thought that was so good, the way they reacted, too.
Strowman's so good at being a monster. He's so good.
Man, he can jump in and out, man. It bums me out, dude, how they use it times, though. Because if you were watching, I think last year, like, Strowman was, like, the hottest thing. All they had to do was pull the trigger, and the guy would have been just phenomenal. But for whatever reason, I think it was because they were still trying to get Roman over for the last 5 years. They passed on Strowman, dude, and he kind of just his momentum kind of just fizzled out. But did you happen to catch Strowman's feud with Elias, where Strowman came out and was on like a hello or something and did a music segment mocking Elias?
No, I didn't see it. I need to look it up.
Oh my, you gotta look it up.
Sounds like it'd be amazing.
It's so gold. Strowman's got some pipes, man. Like, guy can sing. The guy can sing. Especially he's out there, like, Elias has got the acoustic guitar, and Strowman's out there strumming along a damn cello. Oh, man, it was some good stuff. It was some good stuff for sure. Definitely give it a check if you haven't seen it yet, man.
Now, didn't Strowman win Money in the Bank? Was it last year? Or was it the year
He did.
before?
He won last year's Money in the Bank, man. And something happened. I can't remember exactly what it was. Oh, yeah. He attempted to cash in, I think, on... Oh, God, how was it? How did that go down? He attempted to cash in. He said it was a pay-per-view between Brock and Roman Reigns. And he said he was going to cash in if at the end of the match regardless. But I don't think that's how he lost the briefcase, though. I want to say he cashed in ahead of time and he just lost the match, dude. I remember it being super lame. Like, it was... Because it was like a given, dude. You got Braun Strowman. He's like 8 foot, dude. Like, you think like the guy just literally could just walk out at any time, and it's guaranteed is. It was silly, though. It was so silly. The fact that he couldn't get the title from cashing in, it didn't make any sense. It was up there with, God, dude, it just didn't make sense at all. Well, anyways, after that match has been made, we get Mojo Rawley out of effing nowhere. Don't know where he's been. I think he's been on Main Event. We got his new look. What do you think of the blue lightning face, man?
Honestly, bro, like, I've been seeing the new lightning thing all over Twitter. I don't know his old. Like, for those of you that don't know, I got back into wrestling in January. So, like, I'm still fairly new. I've been keeping up, like, from the outside here and there since the Attitude Era, but January really sucked me back in. So I don't even know who this guy is. Explain.
He used to be part of a tag team with God dang, man, I don't know why I'm drawing on blank right now. Zack Ryder, and they were called the Hype Bros in NXT, and it was pretty much like your college bro douchebags, just like always hyping themselves up, man. Like you could always picture them like at college parties, just like crushing beers on their head, you know. And it was an awesome thing, man. And then it kind of just like dissipated. There was no real. They eventually turned on each other. Like Mojo turned on Ryder, but it ended up just like going over like a wet fart. And unfortunately, Raleigh hasn't had much since then, except for when he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I think it was the year before last, maybe last year. He got help with from Rob Gronkowski from the New England Patriots.
Oh, I watched that.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, so that was pretty much the highlight of Raleigh, and it looked like stuff was going to happen for him, but he kind of just like I said, dissipated. Nothing really happened for the guy until recently, and we'll see where it goes. He had a match with Apollo Crews. The match, though, I use that term lightly because it went for all of maybe 45 seconds.
It was a quick squash. Now,
Yeah.
I want to throw it out there. Apollo Crews is on SmackDown. Why is he on Raw? You're making this big deal about this wild card rule. You're going to pull out Apollo Crews for a wild card pick. Like, I know the wild card thing is basically off of the top of Vince's head and thrown all over the place, but you're going to use Apollo Crews as a wild card?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just an excuse. Like the wild card. Now, look, we probably got some questions asking about our opinions, but I'll kind of just gloss over it. I think the wild card is just an excuse to somehow say that the brand,
valid. I understand exactly.
Is still separate, but
it's really not.
Not really. Yeah, exactly.
But you're gonna use Apollo Crews. I didn't even know this guy was a thing until he walked out and it said,
"Dude, Apollo's got freaking potential, man. That dude is he's got to be as jacked as you can be, while still being like as athletic as he is. Like he is just like a freak." As far as like his athleticism and in being as jacked as he is, like I feel like that guy is just one crazy promo away from being huge, man. We'll see though. We'll see what happens. But anyways, yeah, Apollo early in the match doing a handspring out the corner. Apparently torques his knee. Mojo comes up, chop block, running elbow. I will say this: he's got a new finisher. The old-fashioned Alabama Slam. Yeah, huge fan of that, especially with a guy as big as Mojo is. Hits that Alabama Slam. 1, 2, 3. It's a wrap before it even begins. Mojo Rawley with the win. We'll see what happens.
Sorry for those who went to the bathroom at the start of that match.
Yeah, man. You thought you had some time, but now I'll let you take over this next part because I know this has your girl crossed. So I'll let you go ahead and take over this one.
Alexa Bliss comes out. I wasn't prepared for this, guys, but that's okay. Alexa Bliss comes out complaining that the airport security lost her luggage and she can't battle. Now, remember last week she couldn't battle because her shoes were untied, so she got swamped. Whatever. Airport lost her luggage. She couldn't battle because she didn't have no shoes. She didn't have no gear. So here comes Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross got her spot in the match, and I marked out. I marked out hard. I like hard. That's all I could say. Like I was so happy that Nikki Cross was on my television, and I want to take a second.
Did you hear the part though?
What's that?
Did you hear the part where she said? She said, "I'm sorry." She said, "Kim Kardashian has a baby every other week, and no one loses her bet."
I thought that. I thought, oh my God, Kardashian's drawn up suing papers right now on Vince.
Oh my God, how did you get away with that? Go on,
I don't think they did. I don't think they did, honestly. Now,
Oh
speaking of Nikki Cross, now for those like I said a little bit ago, I just want to throw this out there. I am new. I got back into wrestling in January. I went to a live event in March. I didn't know who Nikki Cross was, and Nikki Cross had a match. I don't even remember who she fought. I really don't. Like I can tell you the whole card, and who won except for that match because I was so amazed by Nikki Cross. Her music hit and her character came out, and I fell in instant love. And this is the first time I've seen her on my television. Other than main event, she fought Peyton, but that's main event, man. Like
yes, main event.
That's main event. Like I was so surprised that she was on my screen. I was so happy.
I wasn't even aware people watch main event. Not gonna lie.
I did just because I knew that she was on there. I ain't gonna lie. Like somebody was like Peyton was on there. I'm like, that's cool. Like she fought Nikki Cross. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm watching it now. I watched it I fast forwarded to the end just for that. Like plain and simple.
Yeah, do you get when Nikki Cross's entrance? Do you get like those Primus vibes?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah, man, I loved it when she was part of Sanity. That was that NXT stable she was a part of before she was called up, which was cool because not often do you see, since DX, many stables incorporate women as like an equal member. And Nikki would get in there and mix it up with the men, as much as she could, because
right.
WWE has always had a stigma with like intergender wrestling.
Yes.
But yeah, no, Nikki Cross was always like the wild card in that stable, and a lot of people, man, it was a missed opportunity when Sanity got called up, man. It was like it was just the three men of the group, Wolf, Killian Dane, and Eric Young. And it just, everybody was asking, where's Nikki Cross? And then eventually, like I said, like many other things, kind of just faded away. And it was possibly a huge missed opportunity. But that's where I was introduced to her. And yeah, Nikki is amazing.
She really
like her
is.
character. Yeah, her character is so easy to gravitate to and get caught in by. So we'll see, Lynn. We'll see. But yeah. Anyways, she does the segment with Alexa Bliss. Says, "Hey Alexa, I see you don't got your gear on you. I'd love to take your spot. I'll wrestle for you, no problem." Alexa, kind of just how would you say, like fake shocked, like, "Oh, you'll wrestle for me? Oh, thank you."
I'm sorry, I have to. I don't know how you're on headphones and you just triggered my Echo Dot.
Is what?
You're on headphones, and you just triggered my Echo Dot somehow saying Alexa.
Oh, I don't know, man.
I just had to throw that out there.
Anyways, yeah, so Nikki is able to interject herself into that Fatal 4-Way match. I thought it was for an open position, but apparently the match is just for the momentum is what they like to call it whenever there's nothing on the line other than just putting your body through hell before a huge match. But
valid.
afterwards we get a commercial break, and when we get back, we are greeted
wait. Before the commercial break, I have to throw it out there.
Yeah.
That Alexa came back out, and she climbed the ladder. Nikki tried climbing the ladder, and Alexa pushed her aside. I just want to throw it out there. I think that might lead to something down the road. It might lead to Sunday.
Was that way? But I thought that was no, that was in the Fatal 4 match later on. Then.
Oh. You're right. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. You guys didn't hear
We'll
that.
get there, Rob. We'll get there, Rob.
I'm sorry. I love Nikki. I'm sorry. I love Nikki.
I got you, buddy. We'll get there. But anyways, when we get back from commercial break, we're greeted with Michael Cole in the ring with an obvious contract signing. But what's wonderful about this is you've got 3 chairs instead of 2. He announces that Becky Lynch will be defending both of her titles this Sunday at Money in the Bank. Introduces first Lacey Evans, followed by Charlotte Flair, who they I didn't realize this, although I don't realize how well, it went under the radar. Charlotte Flair, if she's to win, this will be her 9th championship since coming up to the main roster. She's definitely in a hurry to match her dad with his 16 title reign.
I just want to say I'm amazed I haven't seen any 50 Cent tweets. 50 Cent got shot 9 times. And like Charlotte Flair might win 9 belts. They're twinsies, man. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. Charlotte, hey, look, like you said, with you coming back fresh, you should look up some of like Charlotte's versus Sasha Banks, some of their classic matches, because I think it was 2017 was when they really set the women's division on fire. And it was mainly just those two. They were just putting on banger matches all year long, and they were trading the belts back and forth the entire year. And that was the first time. That was when they had that first time that women headlined a pay-per-view at Hell in the Cell. Although it didn't go over the best, I still remember being super excited because they had been killing themselves for that match. But anyways,
I'm looking up for sure.
Sure. They say Charlotte Flair, this would be her 9th time as champion, should she win, or they dubbed her Charlotte Nine Rings. So we got they're all about the new nickname craze.
I love
so Charlotte win. Yeah, Charlotte Nine Rings, man. Becky comes out and surprise, London loves their Irish neighbor.
That's in my notes, just throwing that out there. They went nuts. They went ham.
Yeah, dude, she got the biggest pop of the night.
She deserves it, though. She deserves it.
I love this. Becky called Charlotte and Lacey Evans twins.
Mm-hmm.
And are you following the man on Twitter?
Yes.
You should. So she showed
I have her notifications. Like
yeah, so she had that picture. She had the picture from the show, and she's got my twins pointing to the belts, and she's got Vince McMahon's twins pointing to Lacey and Charlotte.
Yes, sir. That is golden.
Yo, WWE does have a blonde problem. You look at it, man. Like 60 or 70% of the women there that are being featured, all blondes. Just saying. Might have an obvious type. But
my twins.
Pretty good stuff. I mean, I remember Lacey and Charlotte talking, and it's just kind of like going over like a wet fart. And then I think just due to the energy in the crowd and everything, when Becky came out, everything that she hit just seemed hitting left and right, really, really good. They claim that she's under pressure because she's got to defend her belt 2 times in the same night, but Becky says it's actually the other way around. One of them can't afford to lose her first title match, and the other one can't afford to lose her millionth title match.
Yes.
Yeah, thought that was pretty good,
and that's valid too.
It is. No, man. I mean, if you got to put it up, yeah. I mean, that's the cool thing about Becky, man. Is just when you think like she's being overexposed or dying down, like between her and creative, they find a way to just keep that storm brewing, man. And I'm all about the Becky Lynch though. I lost it at WrestleMania when she won. I was so hyped, dude.
My wife asked me, like, my wife watches with me, like, here and there, like, she'll be still doing chores or whatever, and she'll sit down and watch. And she's asked me a couple times, what is it with Becky? She doesn't get it. But that's coming from the outside.
Right.
She just doesn't get it. I think if she watched more, she'd get it. I mean,
it's something that requires continuity, though,
yes.
man. You got to see Becky through the years of she had like a following and a fandom, but nothing was really going on for her. It was kind of like the Daniel Bryan story. Just like she just had all these fans, but people were getting fed up seeing that just nothing was happening with their favorite wrestler. And then the night that she turned on Charlotte after she lost in that triple threat match, it was kind of like all of the fans who had been following her, it was like all of their feelings and intentions being lived vicariously through her when she smacked the crap out of Charlotte in that ring that night. And then from there, it was getting momentum. And then when she got freaking potatoed by goddamn Nia Jax, and you got that classic picture of her all bloody with her arms up in the air saying, come at me, essentially, looking like Stone Cold 2.0. I mean, from there, it's a wrap, dude. It's a wrap. Right. It's going to take crazy, crazy bad booking to get people to turn on Becky by this point.
Right.
But yeah, if you're coming into it as an outsider with like no prior knowledge, I could see it being hard to understand like what's her it factor. So I can see that.
I said it a couple times now. I got back in January. Like I've always watched Rumble to WrestleMania, and then I kind of
right.
But when Becky won the Rumble this year, that was it. I was hooked. And also this time I had Hulu. The past years when I watched Rumble into WrestleMania, I didn't have a way to watch Raw, didn't have a way to watch SmackDown, didn't have cable, whatever. This time around I did. And Becky won the Rumble, and I was on. And then come Tuesday, I turned on Raw. She came out. That was it. I was instantly hooked. So Becky Lynch is what got me back in. Now it's everything.
Nice,
wrestling is
man.
amazing. But that's what got me in. I mean, Seth won the men's Rumble, and that was cool and all. But the way they had Becky win the women's Rumble was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was frothing at the mouth, like how to get Becky in there, because you get all these Twitter addicts and everything, and people who are obsessed with knowing on what's going behind the scenes and everything. And the story was going throughout the year leading up to WrestleMania, because you can find so many leaks seeing what they're planning. And the whole year from last year's WrestleMania to the one that we had this year was, you heard that it was meant for Ronda and Charlotte, and that was the match. And no one, there was no reason to deny that, because Charlotte Flair up until that point was the greatest thing to ever happen to women's wrestling, and still arguably the greatest thing too. But then once Becky hit that momentum and hit that stride, you wanted her in that match. You wanted her to replace Charlotte, or at least get her involved, and having WWE just addicted to shooting your dreams down, just added to that fire. Like just give us some hope. And so by the time Royal Rumble rolled around, you realize that's kind of it, man. That's kind of it for Becky's way into that match. If she don't get in that Rumble and she don't win it, then, F our dreams, essentially. So when she came out to replace Lana as number 30 and then throw Charlotte over the top rope, are you kidding me? Oh my God, I'm surprised. Surprised riots didn't break out like Philly when they won the Super Bowl, dude. I'm telling you, people were just frothing at the mouth for Becky. And that was awesome, man. That was really good. 2019, you can say what you want about wrestling and it sucking. 2019 has been WWE's fan service year. Say what you want about bad booking and everything. They've gone out of their way to give fans what they want this year. Just unfortunately, they can't keep it consistent,
Right.
But in the big moments, they've given it to them. They really have.
That's
man.
valid.
Yeah.
That's valid.
Yeah, man.
Like freaking Shane and Miz at the end of their match on WrestleMania. That was the superplex of all superplexes. That was the superplex. If you look up superplex in Webster's dictionary, you'll see a fucking YouTube of that.
Going off the freaking TV tower.
That was amazing.
Man, it was so good. But anyways, back to the contract signing. After Becky gets done, talking her trash and everything, Lacey Evans gets on the mic, threatens to hit Becky. Charlotte egging her on. Eventually, the brawl does ensue, but you got 2-on-1, so the numbers are too much for Becky, and you get a nice little assisted powerbomb from Charlotte, putting Becky through the table, excuse me.
Cleanest powerbomb ever.
Yeah, with Charlotte and Lacey holding up the respective titles. Now, not saying who do you think might win those matches, but do you think Becky's going to lose?
I think Becky's going to lose the title.
Belts?
I really do. I think she's going to lose one of the two. I don't want her to, and I could very well be wrong. Like I say it again, I'm still the new guy, but I think she's going to lose the title. I really do.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can see it. But I like the idea of Becky going.
But at the same time, Becky Two Belts is the face of your organization. And
yeah, that's
right
the
now,
thing. Is Becky Two Belts.
You have no ratings. You're trying to raise your ratings. You're trying to get more.
Yeah, but I do kind of like the idea of the pay though. It's kind of like an attraction, like a big attraction. The idea that you go into a pay-per-view and Becky has to defend both belts at each pay-per-view. Now, granted, you can't do a year out of that, but you could probably do somewhere between 3 to 4 pay-per-views of her just hanging on to this streak where she's coming through.
Where she's having 2 matches and popping it out.
Yeah, I'd like that, man. I'd like to see them try to push it to SummerSlam. I could, come after SummerSlam, you're probably stretching it too thin, but I'd like to see her retain both and carry both titles all the way to SummerSlam, defending both of them every pay-per-view along the way. I think that would be badass. I really do.
I agree.
Yeah, well,
but again, having her lose one at Money in the Bank would also be ratings. Oh my God, she lost it. Oh my God, I got to tune in and see what she's going to do about it. Is she going to try to get her belt back? What is she doing? They could go both ways. They really could.
It could. It really could.
But if you're looking at money-wise, she keeps both belts. I mean,
you got to plaster her face, man. I mean, it's pretty much like a done conclusion that she's going to be the face of WWE 2K20. The next WWE game. There's like huge swelling to put her on the cover of that.
Isn't that Kurt Angle? Like, I seen a thing on Instagram. Like, I don't do Instagram, but somebody tweeted that Kurt Angle posted his cover being 2K20, and like they made a joke about it. 2K, Kurt, don't post this, and Kurt saying, I have autographed 2Ks. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think I seen that.
I don't know. I'll check it out. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I think I think it's Kurt.
I do have some in my notes.
Ankle hurt.
I do have something in my notes here, though. As Lacey and Charlotte were holding up the belts, you could easily hear London's crowd chanting, "Charlotte, no belts." She ain't gonna win either of those.
I didn't catch that. I'm glad you told me that. That's great.
Yeah, dude. Since the UK don't get many live shows throughout the year, they really come. Oh yeah, they come to play, man. Yeah.
Charlotte. No
Afterwards, we come back from commercial, and we got Baron Corbin in the ring. Boo. I will say I'm happy. Yeah, boo, I know, but I'm happy that he's in there at the end of the first hour and not the end of the damn show, so we can get the Corbin segment out the way.
That's valid.
Well, anyways, yeah. He's facing off against Ricochet. But before the match starts, actually, because he's probably the most polarizing figure, man. What's your take on Corbin, dude?
Again, I'll say it coming back. I don't like Baron Corbin. I don't like his character. I don't like the way he carries himself. I don't like anything about him. I understand he's just a character and he's doing his job, but he's just I don't like him. I don't like him at all. I don't like his character. I don't like seeing him. I think he's boring. Unpopular opinion.
Get off my TV, Corbin.
Exactly. My most popular tweet right now is I took 4 pictures of Baron Corbin and said, one of these 4 wrestlers have to go. Pick one.
It's cold, bro. It's cold.
I was just doing it as a joke. Like, when I did that, it was like 2 weeks ago. I didn't really hate the guy, and I still don't hate the guy. Like, I know he's a human being. He's an actor, whatever. But
he's just playing his part, man. He's showing up for work, being told what to do, and he's doing his job,
I just don't like it. Like, Sami Zayn, he's a heel. And, like, he's, like, I also tweeted this out. When Sami Zayn criticizes the WWE Universe and says we're pieces of shit, I look in the mirror and reflect on where I went wrong in my life.
Oh, for real.
But then you got Baron Corbin.
So meta.
He's boring about it. Like, he doesn't, like, you're supposed to hate a heel. I understand. But I hate him because he's a bad character.
So he's got
in my opinion. I just want to throw it out there. If any of you like Baron Corbin, more power to you. More power to you. If you like him, cool. I'm all about sharing opinions. But he's just he's dull. That's my opinion. He's dull. That's my answer.
Me erring on the side of optimism. I think Corbin. The best case scenario. It's two things. One, which was kind of showcased in this match, and I'll touch on that. But the second thing is kind of like the long game. So The Miz is kind of what I've been comparing him to as of lately. When The Miz debuted and for many years, people shared the same opinion of The Miz. Like, just, you're boring, don't buy it, you're a reality show, whatever, get off my TV. Like, when he was on TV, you just wanted him off TV. But eventually, after time, like, a switch flips and you realize the guy's putting in hard work and he's been developing along the way. He's not an overnight success. stuff like that, and then now people love him. So I think, and by no means am I saying that's where I'm at with Corbin, but I think with like best case scenario, that might be Corbin, is the guy just has to just honestly just eat crap from the fans for the next 3+ years. And then maybe later on in his career, people will accept him. Because, I mean, arguably, and we'll touch on it with the notes I took on this match, the guy's pretty good in the ring. Like, you know, take away his persona and everything. He moves quickly for a big dude. He's tall and skinny, but by no means, I'm sure if we saw this guy in person, he's a big dude. And he can move quickly. And he's got arguably two of the best moves in the business with his deep six and the end of days, you know. So I think at the end of the day, it's just got to be show up for work, do your job, you know, get humbled, but keep working, you know, and maybe 3-5 years down the road, people are going to love this guy because they're going to appreciate his body of work, you know, because there's nothing outside of that personality-wise. Like, you hit the nail on the head. He can come across as bland and boring. Like, you know, he and his freaking ring attire doesn't help. He looks like he's a waiter at goddamn Applebee's. Like, you know, like, so, like.
Speaking of ring attire, I tried making a tweet. I was going to jack Rhea Riptide. I was actually going to DM her and ask if I could. The Lacey Evans trash she did. Lacey Evans as trash cans. I was going to do Baron Corbin as trash bags. But he's only got like 4 colors, man. And I found all 4 colors of trash bag, but I was like, 4 colors. That's not even worth my time. I deleted it and I pretended it never happened.
I gotta see that tweet.
No, I didn't tweet it. I deleted it. I was like,
okay.
Like, it's not even funny because he wears brown, gray, and black.
That's pretty much it.
Like, come on, man. His vests are pretty sick. Don't get me wrong. Wear different colors.
He looks like a host at a family dining store, man. I mean, pretty much, just about. But anyways,
would you like a corner booth?
Table or booth?
Oh, now I'm gonna think that every time I see him.
Oh, Jesus! Looking at him though, man, I'd be like, dude, you put me wherever, bro. Like, just don't mess with me.
Right. Let's go.
But anyways, one thing I'll take away at this part was I honestly thought the match that he had with Ricochet was like match of the night up until that point. Because I hadn't really seen too many people keep up with Ricochet in his pace.
Yes.
And Corbin was matching him speed-wise. And then not to mention the moves that Ricochet was selling, you know, made Corbin look like a beast. Like, it was just like honestly, I think like a perfect storm. Like, I remember coming out of this match and going like, dang, man, I really want to see these guys have like a legitimate feud. Like something where they can get good time on a pay-per-view and really milk it. Because they had a great match. And one of the highlights from the match was Ricochet hitting a springboard top rope hurricanrana on Corbin, and then going for the standing shooting star press afterwards. And then, in which case, Corbin kicks out after he attempts to pin him, and then hits this nasty counter. Looked like Ricochet went for almost like a tornado DDT, and Corbin hit him with the end of days. Yes. And that was a wrap, son. But I remember that ending to that match was really good, and I remember just walking away feeling like, dude, I want to see these two. Because I haven't seen anyone with Ricochet kind of captivate me yet.
Yes, that's actually in my notes how massive that end of days was.
Man, like Ricochet is a superstar in the making, and Corbin needs somebody to make him look entertaining in the ring, and I think these guys can really elevate each other. So hopefully WWE was a fan of the match themselves and can do more with it in the future, man. Because that was good. Like I said, at that point. That was my match of the night, but that was topped later on. I'll tell you that. Valid.
If they were to maybe feud, maybe I would begin to like Corbin. I would be excited to see him because he's about to fight Ricochet, and they're about to have a good match. Maybe that's what it is needed to bring him into me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first spot you'll like a guy, I think, that comes across as boring or bland is if he can be entertaining in the ring.
Right.
You know, I think that's the first part that can really suck you in. Because you might tune them out for the promos, but when the match starts, then you might be glued to your TV. Who knows, man? Who knows? But afterwards, we got a recap from SmackDown with Samoa Joe cutting a promo on Rey Mysterio's kid, Dominic. Dude, someone needed to tell Dominic, like, just try to act intimidated because like, Dominic's like facial expression. Like, if Samoa Joe was in my face, dude, like, I'm a big guy, but even I would be like pretty off foot.
Like, he's an actor, but he's still, bro, Samoa Joe is in your face. He's pretending, but it's still Samoa Joe.
Dude, like, I'm just act a little intimidated, but after the recap's done, we got the lovely Charlie Caruso interviewing Rey Mysterio backstage about his thoughts on the incident, only to be interrupted by Cesaro. And the second I saw Cesaro, dude, I was freaking like 10 years old again, being like just so excited for Rey Mysterio. I could not believe. I'm like, how has Rey been around for almost 3 decades?
He really has.
And I still get super excited with like fresh matchups with him. Like, it is, dude, he's got the secret sauce, bro.
He really does. He really does. I gotta throw it out there. I mentioned earlier, I took the whole family to a live show, and it was SmackDown Live. Nothing major. It was nothing on TV. Nothing major going on. Everybody knows nothing really cool happens at house shows. But he faced who the hell did he face? Did he face? No, it wasn't Andrade. Daniel Bryan faced Andrade. I forget who he faced. Honestly, I said earlier I knew the whole card, but I lied. I'm sorry, guys.
Nikki was there. So.
Anyway. He went for the 619 twice and failed. And then he hit the 619. I got goosebumps on my arms right now. He hit this 619 so hard that crowd went nuts. And I went nuts. Like you said, the 10-year-old me came out again. Oh my God, we've been watching this guy for 3 freaking decades. And look at him. He's still out there doing it. He hit that 619. My daughter went nuts. I went nuts. And it was great. I really enjoyed it. I just wanted to throw that out there. That yes.
Now, are you talking about the house show match that you went to?
Yes, it was. It was actually the night before Fastlane. It was the Saturday before Fastlane.
Okay.
Daniel Bryan fought Andrade. Jeff Hardy got put to sleep by Samoa Joe. The Iconics were there, but I was still fairly new, so I didn't really grasp who I was watching.
Right.
I wish I could go back and now loving the Iconics. But like I said, Nikki Cross, she took my heart instantly.
All you have to do now, man, is just wait till the next time they come through town, man.
I check Ticketmaster literally every day. Literally every day. I'm like, I don't want to.
I'm excited to take my kid next time they stroll through North Carolina and I got some extra cash. Definitely taking my oldest there.
It's good times. It really is.
But back to the interview. Got Cesaro cracking jokes, saying that Dominic is obviously way bigger than Rey Mysterio, so he's wondering if Eddie really was Dominic's real dad. So they break out into a brawl. So we know that obviously later in the night we're going to see these guys square off, and I just remember being very, very excited. And I think it was at that point I realized, like, dang, man, Raw's on a roll tonight. Raw is doing it good, and that always makes you feel good, man. When the product you love is making you happy. It's just good for everyone.
When they cut a promo and you're like, oh my God, I want to watch that, rather than cutting a promo and knowing that this is leading to an 8-man tag match. Yay! Yeah,
man. Yeah, I freaking love it, dude. Anyways, cuts to commercial. When we come back, we get a very well produced video package highlighting Roman Reigns' career, following him through, I think it was FCW. Into NXT and WWE, showing the highlights of him beating John Cena, Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, and then of course the leukemia incident. Now, were you watching wrestling?
No, I didn't. No, I knew the leukemia thing happened, but I wasn't there. Again, I was on the fence, on the outside. Like I used to have, he doesn't work there no more, but I used to have a buddy that was into wrestling, and we'd talk here and there about John Cena, and this is what's going on, and he told me about it. So that's how I knew it was going on, but I was not watching.
Yeah, man. I remember watching that episode, and Roman comes out, and I remember just at that point my inner cynic was just like, oh God, here we go again, the big dog, whatever. And he comes out and he's just wearing his normal clothes, and he starts talking. Now I'm like, something's up, man. And then when he drops the bomb, like, my name's Joe, and for like the last 11 years, been battling leukemia in his back. I remember being like the world's biggest asshole. Even though I'm mad at a character, I still felt like, like such a god-awful person.
Yes, yep. Mm-hmm. I understand what you're saying. Like I said, I wasn't there, but I'd be the same way. I'd be like, man, I'm sorry, bro.
Oh, man, dude, I felt so terrible. Remember, I mean, I'm sitting there, man. Waterworks was starting to try and creep up on me. Like, oh God, I felt so bad. And now Roman, like, I just want what's best for him. Like, I'm praying that WWE creative, and so far they're doing good. They're doing as good as they can do. To not overexpose him and to not give him that Superman-esque feel that makes him easy to hate. And I think they're booking him right, man. They're just pulling back on the mic, not launching him at a belt too early. They're not every time stacking the odds on him where he just beats people where anybody else would lose. So far they're doing good because I really want Roman Reigns to, at this point, like I'm on board to take over that Hulk Hogan, John Cena, that number one spot look. But you got to do it right. You know what I mean? You have to do it right, and you got to know when to pull the trigger and then when to ease off the gas pedal. And I'm hopefully they got some good people working on it, and I think they do. But anyways, I meant to ask you. I put it here in my notes, man, because of how good the WWE packages are, their promo packages. Like, do you got a favorite that stands out?
What do you mean, like a favorite video?
Well, like the promo package. So this is my favorite too. Is the Rock Austin Limp Bizkit one, hyping their WrestleMania matchup. You know which one I'm talking about?
I honestly do not.
Really? Holy moly.
You put me on the spot here. I don't have an answer to this question. Honestly.
Yeah, I probably could have prepped you before the show. I was going to ask you this.
My bad. We're going to roll with it, though. We're going to roll with it. You're good.
Well, anyways, most people that are listening to this, they'll know which one I'm talking about. It's hyping, I think, WrestleMania as 17 or 18 between The Rock and Austin, and they got Limp Bizkit's My Way playing over it, and it gave you goosebumps, man. After the show, I'll send you the video link, it's awesome. But anyways, we'll move on. My bad.
You're good, man. You're good. Honestly, you're good. If you want to do that again, do it again. You're good. Honestly, that's what this is.
No. We're good. We'll let it stick, man. We'll let it ride, man. We'll let it ride. So this is where we got your girls match, the Fatal 4-Way. So I'll let you cover this.
And she came out last. Now you go ahead and cover this. You're the lead man. Again, you're the lead man. Like,
I got you.
I'll throw it out there, but Nikki did come out. She did come out last. I just want to throw that out
there.
Yeah,
man.
They let all three girls come out first, and then Nikki came out last.
So we got Naomi was the first one to make her entrance for tonight's Fatal 4-Way match. It's between herself, Dana Brooke, Natalya. It was supposed to be Alexa Bliss, but due to Alexa Bliss losing the luggage earlier in the night,
I wonder if she got the luggage back yet.
Dude, I don't think she ever lost the luggage. Just a spoiler.
No.
Pretty sure that was just her trying to get out.
It's real, man.
Yeah, man. I think she knew Nikki Cross was standing there. She probably didn't even have someone on the phone. Just saying.
She just hit her luggage in the back.
But before the match starts, Alexa Bliss joins the commentary. Early in the match, the crowd is heavy in the Cross. Obviously, being from Scotland, they're going to cheer anybody from the UK. Nikki Cross deserves it regardless where you are, though. I'll give her that. Cross was amazing. And then Nikki Cross hits one of her awesome spots where she is on the outside and Natalya tries to slide out, and Nikki pulls the ring apron out and traps Natalya against the side of the ring, and in the ring apron starts beating her down. That's always fun.
Yes.
And just as the match is highlighting Nikki Cross and it's swelling and commentary's putting her over, they just cut to commercial like WWE does.
Yes.
It kills the momentum, dude.
Yes, sir.
Oh, God, right. Man. Just time your commercials better, WWE. Time them better. But as when they come back, as the match is going on, you can definitely tell it's just the Nikki Cross show. Like, everybody else is kind of like just filler, except at one point, um, uh, Dana Brooke hits a cross body from the top of a ladder onto everyone on the ground, and just freaking kind of amazed me out of nowhere because Dana Brooke is just one of those people that's overlooked, and I've always kind of wanted her to do good because she's such a she's in such great shape and she's got a great look, and you can't help but kind of just feel bad for her. Like she kind of just generates pity out of you for I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't know. I always kind of feel bad, and she's kind of like an underdog. I low key am a big Dana Brooke fan. I just want her to do well, But
Valid opinion. Valid opinion.
yeah. Outside of that, though, we got excuse me. The action goes back into the ring, and Nikki Cross nails Natalya with a draping, swinging neckbreaker. Gets the 1, 2, 3. Yes. Nikki Cross gets the win. Crowd goes nuts.
I went nuts.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. I was pumping it, bro. Pumping it. But while she's celebrating, this is what you were mentioning earlier.
Yes. Yep, I slipped up and I jumped the gun. Alexa Bliss came out, and she wanted to climb the ladder and take the Money in the Bank briefcase and pushed Nikki Cross out of the way. Nikki rolled with it, but I don't think Nikki was too happy about that happening.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I gotta see what happens. It does lead you to believe that either one of a couple things is gonna happen. Somehow Nikki's gonna get herself into the Money in the Bank match.
That's my
or
unbiased,
possibly,
by the way. Unbiased.
Yeah, or possibly we might get a tag team between Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross where we can get one of them to turn on each other later on. And I'm thinking because of Nikki's recent promos that she's cut, where she seems really calm and collected.
It scared the hell out of me. I just want to say, I'm glad you brought that up. That promo scared the hell out of me. I thought she was going to lose the entire character. I was like, you're talking about turning the light on? Are you not coming out to the sick, screamy music and running to the ring anymore? She seems more sane. Like, she kind of lost sanity.
It's more methodical, I think.
Yes.
Because cutting back to when she was talking to Alexa Bliss and she was taking her spot and she was coming across like, oh, I'm sorry, like, I'll take your spot, of course. And she's coming across as like just kind of like a genuine anybody. And then when Alexa Bliss agreed to it, she gave that maniacal look that harps back to Nikki Cross's actual character.
Yes.
And I loved it because to me, I've seen Twitter like freaking out that they're going to kill her character. To me, I felt like it just added a layer to it.
Yes.
Instead of wearing your crazy on the outside, you can be methodical and really think out your actions and then, let the crazy come out afterwards. It really felt to me, I think I remember right, there's more going on behind the eye than what appears. And that's what I appreciated big time. I think Nikki Cross is going to be just fine.
The subject we're talking about is actually in one of the questions we got later, which makes me excited.
But anyways, yeah. So she wins the match. She's holding the ladder. Alexa Bliss grabs briefcase. Pretty much if you go by wrestling logic, that means Alexa Bliss is not going to be winning Money in the Bank again. Figure out who it is maybe on the predictions episode. I actually tell you the truth, I really both Money in the Briefcase or Money in the Bank matches. I really don't have a clue. I got a little bit of an inkling on the men's, but not too sure on the women's.
That means they're doing their job. Just throwing that
yeah, man. You're supposed to keep guessing.
Yes, sir. That's valid. That's valid.
But anyways, time for the Rey Mysterio and Cesaro match. And at this point, match of the night again for me because it had that big fight feel. Like, I don't know what it was about these guys between Rey Mysterio and Cesaro. I just knew these guys were going to deliver, and boy, did they. Cesaro comes out. He's got a new Titantron graphics, but he's still coming out to Sheamus's music, which R.I.P. Sheamus, by the way, because apparently he's got to be retiring soon due to injury. I hope not, because I just came around to the guy.
Is he injured? I didn't even know he was injured.
He's been struggling with spinal stenosis,
Oh, okay.
which is the injury that ultimately led to Stone Cold and Edge's retirement.
Yes.
Yeah, and a couple other people struggled with it too. I think like Lita had spinal stenosis. She got that on that Dark Angel episode where she broke her neck essentially.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's no joke. And then I think at WrestleMania, Sheamus also got a concussion.
Ooh.
And so, yeah, I mean, the man's 40 years old. He's got those crazy Celtic warrior workout videos. And, I mean, the guy is in insane shape. But at the end of the day, man, if your spine ain't holding up, man, wrestling is just – you can't do it. You can't do it. You're risking paralysis every time. But, yeah, so Sheamus, it came out, man. Just came out that Sheamus is likely to retire. We may never see him in the ring again. He is very likely to retire. Hopefully not quietly. Hopefully they make a big deal out of it.
Right. He deserves it.
Yeah, man. Sheamus definitely, man. He's a great guy. But anyways, the match between Rey Mysterio and Cesaro was, in my opinion, freaking awesome, dude. At one point, Rey is on Cesaro's shoulders, and they tumble over the top rope, and they never lose position, and Cesaro lands on his feet. Like, how do you do that? You're stacked on top of a guy. Y'all front flip over the ropes, and that dude still lands on his feet, and y'all don't fall down. I remember I was sitting there like a little kid. I'm not going to lie, man.
I wonder how many times they practice it.
Oh, Jesus, dude. You'd have to practice that. There's no way you do it on the fly. You had a week to get it done.
Like, I'm all about improv matches, but stuff like that, like...
Yeah. But the match is great. At one point, Cesaro has Rey against the ropes, and Cesaro threatens the 619, which I, at that point, forgot was a part of Cesaro's arsenal, and instantly became super excited to see. However, it does get countered. Rey counters it into a DDT, goes for the 619 himself. That gets countered into the swing. And by this point, I am losing my mind over the match because these two have insane chemistry.
Yes. I'd like to see it again. I really would.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Big dude, little dude. It was good times.
But eventually, Rey Mysterio counters that bomb. Rey counters a side slam into the 619, hits Eddie's Frog Splash, wins the match. At this point, once again, like I said, match of the night again. I'm at the end of that thing going, Raw is on point tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much, because 3 hours is a pain. You guys are making it easy. After Raw is going great, I get brought back down to earth because we are given a recap. This is where you and I differ, and I can see it. I'm all for different strokes, different folks, or different folks, different strokes, rather. Got the Usos recapping, spying on the Revival, shaving each other's back in the shower. I'm just having my ears bleed and my eyes bleed because these are like the best tag teams in the world, and they're being reduced to comedy segments, but you love it.
I love comedy. Long live the Attitude Era. Just saying.
Oh my gosh.
And then my man's put Usi hot cream in their freaking underwear. I mean, that's
comedy
gold right there. They may
Jesus,
they may have
so
been
painful.
reduced to just comedy. They're great tag teams in the ring, but you know what? They had them do a segment where they put itchy cream in their underwear.
No.
My man was scooting his ass in the ring like a dog.
Oh my God, no, Rob. Not endorse this. Anyways.
It's just like the Dudley Boys stealing Edge and Chris's ass cream.
Yeah, I mean, you got a point. You do have a point.
I see the side of when the ass cream was stolen, it led to a good match, and matches aren't as good nowadays.
We'll
but
see.
I look at it for what it is. They had my man scooting his ass across the fucking ring.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Anyways, I will say one thing. For those who are erring on the side of like, what the F are you doing, WWE, with my team, the Revival did cut a promo after the recap where they came across very serious. genuine, and they actually kind of, in my opinion, reestablish some of that badass attitude
I can
that
I can swing in on that. I did again. I'll say it again. I'm still fairly new. I didn't care for the Revival. I'm like, who are these guys? They have tag belts on them, and they're not. They come out. I don't get excited. That promo that you're speaking of made me see them. I'm like, oh my god, these guys are okay. Now I see you. Now I want to see them in the ring. If that makes any sense. Like I didn't see I didn't see them, but now I do. I seen that promo. I'm like, okay, these guys are for real. Like I'm down.
yeah,
to see
man.
them.
I want to see them put on that huge match, man. Harking back to and yeah, it does, man. It's hard. Like I'm so one side I hate people who always bring up like the past, and then the other side of me, I'm like, you can't help but do that because you know that like the Revival are in their prime, and I've seen what they can do in their prime, and that's all I hope. I hope, you know what, honestly, all of this hating that in all of this like, what are you doing, WWE? If you can just give me one insanely good pay-per-view match between them and the Usos, which should be a cakewalk between these guys. Give them 20 minutes in the ring. Just tell them, you know, cut loose, do what you do on a pay-per-view. Then it's all worth it. It is all worth it. But if we get like a comedy segment on a pay-per-view or a squash match, that's when I'll be like, dude, you're who, like, how do you not understand why so many people want to leave the company? You know, so the jury's still out. The jury's still out. Let us get that pay-per-view match. I'll freaking put up with it with the freaking Usi hot and the back shaving. I'll put up with it. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Right after that Revival promo, my 8-year-old was like, "Daddy, you remember the Usi hat?"
Jesus, man. I'll put up with it, man, until then. Okay? Until then.
It could lead into an excellent match. You never know. The Usos could take out Bryan and Rowan, take the belts, and then whatever we got next month, the fight the Revival, and then it's a big match that everybody wants it to lead to. And then the Usi Cream makes sense. Yeah. Maybe. But, I highly doubt Bryan and Rowan are losing the belts, but it could happen.
No, man. They took that world title off Bryan and gave him the tag belt. That shows right there they want the belt on Bryan. They need a belt on him. They got to keep Bryan as one of like the main players. But that's SmackDown. Let's go back to Raw. Well, anyways, my segment of the night, we finally get to see what's going on with Bray Wyatt. Thank God we got to see it. Jesus, dude. We get the Firefly Funhouse segment, and opens up, man, us playing hide and seek with Bray Wyatt, trying to find him. And then he kind of lets us in on what he's been working on. And then what we get 2000s like Corey Taylor, Slipknot / Beetlejuice, Bray Wyatt with a god-awful, terrifying mask. And I don't mean god awful like it's bad. I meant like god awful like
it plays the role very, very well.
Oh my god, dude, it's terrifying. Holy cow! Like obviously there's no way he could wrestle with it, right? There's no way he could wear that in the ring.
You never know. They could make a modified version that isn't as
kind of like Kane's. Thick. You know what I mean?
Yes,
yeah, Kane.
Precisely.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I mean, at the very least, that guy's got to wear it for his entrance. You know, and hopefully, like during all this time, they're tweaking his entrance to make that extra creepy too, as well.
Right.
Not that his entrance beforehand was bad, but yeah. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Now we just got to figure out when he debuts. That's all it is. Just when is he coming out, man? When are we gonna get the Bray Wyatt in the ring? When are we gonna find out if he's got allies? Like this is what keeps me intrigued for Raw. This is like seriously the one thing I look forward to Raw for, because I know on SmackDown it's just a replay.
Yes.
So every Raw I'm going into it, one big question in my mind, what's next for Bray Wyatt? And this tells me that they are all in on him, that they are all in on this character. Can't stress it enough, man. So stoked. Excuse me.
They're definitely playing it well, though. They built it up well. And they brought it out well. The answer we got is amazing. And
now
where do they go from there? They played it right. they waited a few episodes. I still don't see how Rabid Rabbit or whatever the hell his name is just all of a sudden back to life without any.
It's his cousin.
Yeah, there we go. We'll go with that. Which it's not really a complaint. It's just, I mean, at least at least have the witch in the window say, "I sewed his head back on." Okay, cool.
Right. She resurrected him or something.
Cool.
Maybe they'll come out next episode. Maybe that's what it'll be. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah, man. Who knows?
You sewed his head back on. Yowie wowie.
Oh. Oh, excuse me. Oh man, I'm so happy because I was terrified that he would get stuck in the same reoccurring segment.
Right.
And eventually, you're sitting there going like, "Where is this going?" But I love that they pulled the trigger quick enough to be like,
"Yes, they timed it very well. They timed it very well.
Such great timing.
They didn't go too quick, and they didn't drag it enough. It kind of."
All right, so we go back afterwards. After that's done, we get one more segment of Seth Rollins hyping us up for his match with AJ Styles. And honestly, Raw has been so good, I completely forgot about these guys. And I didn't realize, but now I'm like, man, this Money in the Bank is going to be stacked.
It is.
Like, it really is going to be stacked this year. And it's funny because, like, the show is it doesn't feel as big as some other Money in the Banks. But then when you just break it down on paper, like, they really have some good potential in there, man. And AJ and Seth Rollins for sure. I'm wondering if they're going to get the last match of the night. It's the Universal title, so that would lead you to think that they are, especially because they like to have the Money in the Bank matches early on to leave you wondering if anyone's going to cash in.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. So I would be led to believe that that's going to be the main event, and we'll definitely. I mean, I have a feeling I know how the matches play out, but I think it's going to be great. And I love that the fact that WWE actually brought up their match from the Indies. I'll give WWE that. It used to be, if it didn't happen in WWE, it never happened.
Yes.
And over the last couple of years, they've actually been giving acknowledgement to New Japan and then a couple other establishments that are kind of under the umbrella. They still snub, for the most part, Impact Wrestling and oh god, who else? I mean, they're snubbing AEW, but mainly they snubbed Impact for a long time. I think I've only heard them on air mention it once, and it was in a Kurt Angle segment, and it was actually hilarious. But it's nice to see that they'll actually bring up some old stuff and pay the money to get the rights to some of the footage, to really add some legitimacy to these matches. And so, once again, like I said, nice touch. Now it's time for the main event. We've got the Falls Count Anywhere match between Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman.
Yes,
and
sir.
it only took like a minute for it to spill outside and through the crowd, dude.
Is there any other way to have a Falls Count Anywhere match?
I mean, you have to, right?
Just
it's a Falls Count Anywhere. You got to get out of the ring.
Why even start in the ring? I mean,
yeah, no, that is true. That is very true. You should have just one of them being interviewed backstage, and then they get jumped by the other guy, and the ref is all.
Yep.
And then, hey, you should even have a guy mobile with the ring bell too, just following you around with the ref, like just ready to ring the bell. You catch the part where Zayn hit Strowman with the beer?
Yes.
Dude, loved it. You need more of that, man. You need more grabbing people's food and using it as a weapon, dude.
It's actually in my notes. Zayn hit him with a beer. Did the guy get a refund? That's like a $15 beer, man. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's like a 15-pound beer. Like,
yeah.
Like if I was at a ball game, like, come on, man, it's my $15 beer, bro.
You guys are comping me for the rest of the night, bro.
Like, at least, like, it was a half a beer. Give me a half back, and I'm happy.
But
okay,
man, the fight spilled back. Remember, it goes back to the concession area. They always spill back to like kind of like the same spots. They never go full on back in like the Attitude days where they're getting to like the parking garage and they're getting outside, you know. But they hit the concession area. That was nice.
I just want to throw it out there. You popped it in my head. Back in the WCW days, speaking of being like in the alley, in the garage, do you remember when Rey Mysterio got thrown into the TV freaking trailer like a dart by Kevin Nash?
Yeah. Did you know that? Because that was the NWO.
Yes.
People in the local area watching it on live TV,
they called the cops.
They legitimately called the cops because they thought it was real.
Yes.
Yeah, man. That was the stranglehold wrestling had back in the 90s.
Oh man.
You still had people believing it was real, dude. Some people. But I know exactly what you're talking about. You got like lawn dart into like the production truck.
Yes.
Oh, so good.
Okay, they were in the back in concessions. I'm sorry, guys. I still enjoy my Attitude Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, no, you're good. At one point, Strowman was attempting to murder Zayn again against a support beam. And I was like, dude, you got to stop slamming that dude's head. But eventually, we realized why Zayn was so happy for it to be Falls Count Anywhere, because we had Corbin. For some reason, Corbin's in there. Probably to keep, Strowman's the biggest threat in the match, and you have an opportunity to get him out. So that's the only reason I could think that why they would kind of come in and interfere. So Corbin gets in, helps put Strowman. Let me see here. Do I have my nose right? Strowman attacked by Corbin. Oh, yeah. And he puts him through a table. I'm sorry. By this point, 3 hours was kind of adding up, and I had been drinking some wine. Not going to lie. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. So my notes got a little jumbled here. Corbin then eventually is thrown into the merch stand. We get a commercial break. When we get back...
Which, I want to throw it out there. There was nobody working that merch stand, and there was no fans around.
That's right, man. It was bare, too. They didn't have nothing on it.
I think that was planted for the match. Come on, guys.
I think it was planted.
Put them through the real merch stand. I just want to throw that out there. Give it some realism. Like, make the guy standing in the back trying to make $10 an hour be like, oh, my God, and then the powerbomb hit. I just want to throw that out there. Make it real.
That merch stand had only, 2 T-shirts hanging on it.
Right. They weren't even... I couldn't even make out what shirts they were. I don't want to buy them shirts, man. I want to know what shirt I'm buying.
But when we get back from the commercial, Fight's already making his way back to the ring. We do get by this point, Drew McIntyre gets in there. We got a full 3-on-1, and the numbers do end up being too much for Braun Strowman. We get a nice double suplex on the ladder, followed by a Claymore kick. All 3 guys jump on Strowman to get the pin. 1, 2, 3, Money in the Bank. Braun Strowman's out. Sami Zayn is in. I'm instantly more excited because I've already seen Braun win, and they fumbled that. So I'm excited with him out of the match, and Zayn's always fun in multi-man matches.
I do agree.
Yeah,
I didn't see Strowman win it. But, Strowman's good and all, but Sami Zayn has my attention a lot more than Strowman.
Yeah, man. Zayn's great in multi-man matches. He had there was a fatal 4-way that he was in against Kevin Owens and Jesus. I can't remember the other two. But I remember that fatal 4-way for me was one of the matches of the year. And the best part about it was the feud between Zayn and Owens was so hot at the time. When the bell rang to start the match, Zayn's finishing move is a haluva kick. It's a running front kick in the corner.
Okay.
So with all 4 guys in corners, Zayn's diagonal from Owens, the bell rings, and Zayn bolts across the ring, hits Owens with his finisher within 2 seconds of the match. Hits the haluva kick. Owens is tossed over the ropes, and everybody is bewildered looking at Zayn like, what just happened? and then essentially you can see it on Zayn's face, like that dude had it coming. Let's get the match going. But yeah. Zayn is awesome man matches, man. It's wonderful. Apparently, though, with the broadcast, the UK got something different than us. So they saw Strowman get pinned, but the Raw cut off afterwards. It's only us here in the States did we actually see Zayn get tossed back out by Corbin and Strowman chokeslamming him through the announce table. Apparently, that was just for us here stateside. UK didn't get that for whatever reason.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. But anyways, that was Raw, man. Raw, in my opinion, man. 3 hours for once kind of flew by for me.
Yep, I'll definitely accept it. I was happy. I'm easy to please. I'll throw that out there. I'm easy to please. I do understand why people are unhappy with the product.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and open it up to some questions.
Yes.
I got a couple questions that we were hit up on Twitter. First one being, obviously, we've had a couple people ask this, but we'll go ahead and give a shout out to Go Home Wrestling. Go Home Wrestling Show on Twitter. They said, with the change in direction of Bray Wyatt's character, who is the first superstar you would want to be in a program with? Honestly, I'd like him to terrify and squash some jobbers, man, some local enhancement. You can never go wrong there with trying to get a guy like built up, especially if he's being reintroduced. You don't necessarily want to go into a major feud right away. You kind of want to build to it, in my opinion. So, honestly, I'd like him just to come out for like a month or so, maybe a month or two, and just squash either, some jobbers like Heath Slater or just bring in some local enhancement talent from whatever city they're. What about you, man?
My answer on that, I would like him to come out the gate right away into a feud with Aleister Black. Aleister Black isn't doing anything right now, and he's got that dark feel to him. Maybe not as dark as Bray Wyatt, but he's got the dark feel. Bray Wyatt's got the dark feel. Bray Wyatt doesn't have anybody to fight. Aleister Black doesn't have anybody to fight. I think they would have some in-ring chemistry. I think they would make a swell feud. I really do. So that would be my answer to that question.
Who goes over in the end?
I can't. Don't make me choose.
They both kind of need it, man. But
Right. I honestly think Wyatt would, just because. I mean, he was on the sidelines for so long. Maybe Vince promised him he's gonna get a go over down the road. Maybe.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Aleister Black seemed like he was gonna get one, but we all know how WWE works, and you know what I'm saying. He didn't get one. I don't know, but that would be my answer. That would be Aleister Black. And not to cut you off, I'm gonna go ahead and handle the questions because I have them on the note cards here. Let's do Eric Brown at Neo Reality ENT. Do you feel WWE's interest in hiring chroniclers to maintain continuity is because of AEW? So apparently WWE is hiring people to log history of what worked and what didn't. Do you think it's because AEW? Did it scare them into doing
to be honest, like I hadn't even really noticed. Like I don't even know how to begin to answer that. You intellectually are on a different plane, bro.
Dude, okay.
The only thing I see them doing, me personally, is I feel like they're locking talent to stop them from signing elsewhere regardless. AEW is probably huge on the radar, but with them not letting Luke Harper out of his contract along with many other superstars, I feel like they're trying to prevent people and they're locking people up to not give competition too big of a boost, considering 2019 and 2018 have been some of the biggest years for the independent scene overall. So that'd be my end.
Then there's really nothing much else to say. I mean, you said it best.
Yeah, WWE, they have enough money, and they're going to if you got a price, they're going to find out what that price is.
So Eric Brown does have a second question. Do you believe Bray Wyatt's new gimmick will guarantee him a Universal Championship title shot this year or next year?
Absolutely not, man. I hate it. As much as I love Bray, WWE has shown in the past that they just do not believe in him as the face of the company, whether it be lack of faith overall or just not willing to pass the Undertaker's torch, because that's arguably that role that Bray Wyatt is filling is the Undertaker, for being one of the last character wrestlers. And I feel like, they gave him a brief run with the title, but how they did it, I don't think so, man. I feel like Bray Wyatt, I I hate to douse the fire so early because I love with him. I don't think it'll get him to the mountaintop, but I will put it out there. I hope I'm wrong. Like I absolutely hope I'm wrong, but no. The most I see it is a secondary title, or he might be above title. He could be above title. But his biggest belt would probably be the world title over on SmackDown, the WWE lineage belt. But Universal, that seems to be where they put their number one big star on. And that, I mean, whether we like it or not, that's probably going to find its way over to Roman Reigns in 2 years. So I would say probably not.
I agree. I do agree. I don't see. I mean, Bray Wyatt's new character is amazing, and I'll say it again. I'm the new guy, and my opinions might not be 100% valid. I see Bray Wyatt not holding any title. I don't see him as championship caliber. Not yet, anyway. Maybe they'll build him up, and maybe he will have a feud with Aleister Black, and all of a sudden the crowd will be amazingly in love with him, and he will deserve a title shot. But as of right now, I don't think he's going to get any kind of title shots. I think he's going to be in big matches, but he's not going to get any kind of belts. Let's see. We're only gonna do half of these cards. We'll save the other.
I got one right here.
Okay.
Got Dominic or at Rare Mom. She asks favorite match of all time. Gotta put that out there. Me personally, it's the end of the era match. I mean, it's in my eyes, that's just the perfect match between nostalgia and actually in ring action. The Undertaker against Triple H in the Hell in the Cell match at WrestleMania with Shawn Michaels as the guest referee. That match to me, I had goosebumps, and I still get goosebumps every time I watch it. That is my absolute favorite match, and it's funny because it's neither of those three are my favorite wrestlers, but I love the match that easily for me.
I don't remember the match. Is that the match where Shawn didn't want to count 3, but he did? Is that what I'm thinking of? Was it Triple H pinned or Undertaker pinned Triple H, and Shawn didn't want to count the 3, but he did? Or is that a different match?
It was so it was right after the retirement match, retirement versus streak between Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker.
I don't ever want to talk about that match again.
Yeah, it was right after that one, and then Triple H essentially was trying to get revenge for Shawn Michaels. Shawn didn't believe Triple H could beat him. And then the match ensues, and that was kind of where like the Undertaker just seemed unbeatable because he got hit with, at one point, Shawn Michaels hit him with Sweet Chin Music, which was followed up into Triple H's pedigree, and the Undertaker still kicked out. And at that point, you just knew, you knew the Undertaker was just, no way you getting through him at WrestleMania. No way. At that point, no one could. No one could get through. What about you? What's your favorite match?
I honestly think that this answer will never, ever be changed. You can throw the best match in history at me. My answer is going to be Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Iron Man match, WrestleMania 12.
Really? Oh, that's a classic.
I was newer into wrestling. Halloween Havoc 95 is what got me into wrestling. They advertised the monster trucks. And I seen the monster trucks and told my mom I wanted to see the monster trucks. And she mentioned that my uncle did pay-per-view buy-in parties. He got all the pay-per-views. That's part of another big reason I was into the Attitude Era. I got to see all the pay-per-views. But I got into wrestling in 95, and it slowly built up, and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, I started liking Shawn Michaels. And then Shawn Michaels was the biggest boo of all time. And then WrestleMania 96 was when he won the title finally.
Nice.
And it just meant the world to me. I was just like, oh my God, this guy finally won the title. It was my first favorite wrestler, if that makes sense. Like, everybody has favorite wrestlers, but then that one finally clicks. And the fact that it went into overtime and it just went into my gut that, oh my God, is this guy going to take the title or is Bret Hart going to take the title? When he finally hit that final Sweet Chin Music and he took the 3 count, I'll never forget it. That will always be my favorite match.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic, man. It's a classic.
And the fact that they went 60 minutes with no pinfall. I mean, come on, that's genius. That's genius. You could have did anything with that match, but you make it 0-0 after 60 minutes. Like, come on.
I can't really recall off the top of my head any 60-minute Iron Man match that went to overtime with no pins.
Right, like that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Shawn Michaels is over the top, and Bret Hart has arguably the best in-ring chemistry of any wrestler ever. It was a genius match. and then you make it go 0-0. Like, oh my God, like what's gonna happen? Now they're in overtime, so they hyped up this Iron Man match. You know, who's gonna get the most pins, and then all of a sudden it turns into who's gonna get the pin. Like, I got goosebumps on my arm right now. Like, they did it so well. They did it so well. And, like, the 10-year-old me or however old I was like, oh, my God. I will never forget it. That is my answer. You can bring the best match in the world at me at Money in the Bank, and that will still be my answer. I went on a little too long about that.
No, that was good.
Oh, my God. I love that match. I love it so much.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Let me pick one off of the card here. Vanessa Vasquez at Great Love 91. Favorite wrestler in NXT?
Vanessa asks, who's our favorite wrestler?
In NXT.
NXT.
Yes.
Oh, shoot, man. Come like right to my gut, I got to say Adam Cole. That dude gets a reaction out of the crowd and even me, and I'm not even familiar with his work. I watched a little bit of the Young Bucks being the Elite, and because that's always a fun little YouTube videos that they put, and that kind of introduced me to Adam Cole and how fun he could be. But boy, man, when he comes out and then he hits that like Adam Cole, baby, and everyone loses it. Oh yeah, and then easily what put me over with him was his match again. I think it was. I don't know if it was 1-on-1 with Ricochet or if it was a multi-man, but Ricochet goes for that springboard moonsault, and Adam Cole hit him with that super kick while Ricochet was upside down in midair. That was it, man. So, yeah, for me, I got to say right now, NXT, Adam Cole, by all means, man. And I hope when he gets called up, man, he takes WWE by storm. Hopefully they remember that Shawn Michaels wasn't the biggest guy either. And they still put him in the main event because that is the only spot for Adam Cole is the main event.
We are in a fight right now. I don't watch much of NXT. Like, I don't have time, guys. I don't have time to do this stuff. I have 4 kids. I work 65 hours a week. The bro dude, I don't even know his name. Just seeing him on Twitter and seeing his promos and the fact that he fought Adam Cole and manhandled Adam Cole last week, the bro dude won me over. I don't know anything about NXT. But I know that the bro dude, I hope he comes up and he takes WWE by storm. He's amazing. Like, somebody tweeted, I forget who it was. I'm sorry if you hear this and I forgot you. He was front row at the NXT entrance, and the bro dude gave him a bro knuckles. I was like, I want a bro knuckles. I wish that was me. Like, the dude won me over, and I watched, I turned the match on my TV, but then I adulted, so I didn't even get to watch it.
Matt Riddle is who you're talking about.
Matt Riddle.
Anybody who's... Any of you wrestling fans that are like boiling over, yes, it's Matt Riddle he's talking about. Yes. We know that.
My apologies, I don't know the name, guys.
Matt. I'm for a long time while I wasn't watching WWE back in the day, I was huge into UFC, and that's actually where I first saw Matt Riddle. He was a promising prospect in the UFC, and he only got let go with the company because he got popped for weed. And that's kind of where it comes from, the bro attitude. Because on the indies, he could still smoke, and that was part of his character. But, after so long, you got to focus on your career. And he kind of, he dropped that habit, so we're told. And, yeah, that's how he found his way here. But, yeah, no, I followed Matt Riddle not through this indie circuit, although I heard he was doing wrestling. But I remember watching him fight, and the dude is legit. Like, he wants to have a match with Brock Lesnar, and I could see it, man. Like,
I'd be okay with that match.
I would be damn okay with it.
You say Brock Lesnar, I don't want to watch your product, but with that, I'd be okay with that.
The only way you'd get me excited for Brock Lesnar is if you put him against NXT guys.
That's valid.
Like I'm tired of watching him on main roster. I'm tired of him going after that Universal title, and I get it the way WWE looks at him, but no, like I think if you were to tell me that Brock Lesnar all of a sudden is having like open invitationals with NXT guys, that would get me psyched to see Brock again. I would, because you'd want to see who can come close to beating him or potentially maybe even get one. Matt Riddle's the shit, bro. If you get a chance, man, do yourself a favor here, and I'll hold you to it since we're doing the podcast. If you're not going to watch the weekly program, watch the NXT takeovers, though. They only throw.
I do have every intention. That's the NXT pay-per-views, correct?
Yeah. Those
I do have
takeovers.
Every intention to have at least have it on my television. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the takeovers are essentially WWE's in-ring product of the year. That's where your like Dave Meltzer 5-star matches are going to take place. Is on those NXT takeover shows.
So do they? How often do they do takeovers? Is it every pay-per-view or?
No. Only following the big ones. So the last couple of years, they would only follow the big four. So you'd get a takeover before Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series.
Okay.
But I think this year they're adding a fifth one, which would I don't know. I don't think there's one before Money in the Bank because I would have heard of it. But yeah, normally there's only 4 a year. There's only 4 a year, so and you usually don't have to follow the story because the matches that they put on are so phenomenal. You don't give a damn what happened.
Right.
The matches themselves are so crazy. So yeah, if you can't keep up with NXT, at least watch the takeovers.
Okay.
Because that's what I do too.
We'll jump into Vanessa Vasquez's second question.
Yep.
Who should take one of Becky's titles?
Come again?
Who should take one of Becky's titles?
Oh, who's taking one of those belts?
Who should? Who do you feel if she loses the belt? Who do you feel should take it? I have my answer, and it's going to be an unpopular opinion, but I'm about it.
To be honest, I've been so focused on her keeping who I want her to lose it to. I'd like to see her lose it to a cash-in. So, because I wouldn't want her to just flat out lose one in a one-on-one match. I would like to see. So, if someone does take it from her, I'd like it to be like a opportunist, like Edge was. So, personally speaking, like the women's Money in the Bank. Not that she y'all gonna hate me for this. Y'all are gonna seriously hate me. Not that she would have an incredible run as champ, but I'd just like to give her a chance. I'd like to see Dana Brooke win the Money in the Bank and then go ahead and successfully cash in on Becky Lynch as a heel. Yeah, no, I know. But it would be so easy for her to get booed. Like she would just be so hated. And I think it would give her enough potential. Like I think it would give her enough to do that if there is a main player in there, that could bring it out. And that's my argument. Like I'm not saying that Dana Brooke right now is a megastar. I think with the Money in the Bank and then a heel turn cash in, especially saying that if she goes out there and she's like, I'm going to do things fair, I'm winning the crowd over, and then just for her to go back on everything she said, I think that would be just the right mix to get her in the spotlight. And if there is a superstar lying in there, that would bring it out. So that's my answer. Dana Brooke with the Money in the Bank cash in. Y'all can crucify me if you want.
Okay, my answer. Who should take Becky Lynch's belt? Lacey Evans, Sunday at Money in the Bank. If she's going to do it, if it's going to happen, she needs to be the one that does it. I actually meant to mention earlier, but I didn't find the right time to jump in when you were talking about the promo. Lacey Evans is winning me over. At first, I wasn't about her. She was coming out, throwing punches, and then disappearing. She's learning her promos. She's hot. Like I'm a sucker for dresses. She's hot. Her invitations smell like peach cobbler. Like that's very ladylike. Come on, I want an invitation that smells like a lady's peach cobbler. You know what I'm saying? Like she's learning. She has potential to be big. Put the belt on her and see what she can do. I honestly think she can do something with a belt. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I very well could be wrong. But right now, if you're going to have anybody take it, make it be Lacey Evans. I mean, you could, like you said, Dana Brooke could win the Money in the Bank. Nikki Cross could come out, win it, and oh my God, surprise everybody. Ember Moon should be put over. But right now, in the current storyline, give Lacey a chance. And that is my answer. Make the belt smell like peach cobbler.
Hey, man. I mean, Money has some people think she's going to do it too, man. I mean, go ahead.
All right, it'd be a surprise.
We'll get time for one more. We'll get time for one more. Miss Dominic here over at Rare Moxley. She asked us a couple here. I'll kind of like skim through them. You can chime in if you want. Thoughts on Seth and Becky? They're a power couple. Come on, 2 champs. Cool. Who do you want? Who do you think Brock is fighting against Saudi Arabia? It's gonna be Seth Rollins.
Yes.
They always, yeah. I mean, they're never gonna let Brock wrestle anyone that doesn't have the Universal Championship. Thoughts on the Undertaker and Goldberg? 15 years too late.
I want to chime in and say I'm excited for it. It may be 15 years too late, but man, we're getting it. They might be in wheelchairs, but we're getting it. Like,
if they're not rolled out in wheelchairs, they're probably gonna be wheeled out after.
Undertaker can't do the rope walk, but we're getting it, man. We're gonna hear Goldberg's music. I don't know if they're gonna have
entrance alone.
We're not. I don't know if we're gonna have the pyros because everybody knows Goldberg was known for his pyro entrance. And then we're going to get the dong of The Undertaker. And even if they're in wheelchairs, like I just said, we're getting Goldberg Undertaker.
Who doesn't love The Undertaker's dong?
I'm going to look at the bright side of it. It's Goldberg Undertaker, man. 2 legends. Even if it's boring, like, if you don't want to see it, don't watch it. I'm going to have the volume turned up, and I'm going to be all over it.
No, I'll give you this. If they can replicate Goldberg's match with Brock Lesnar, not the first one, but the last one, where they met up at WrestleMania, and all they did was it was like 5 minutes of car crash. Just big move, big move, big move. You know, if you can do that, and you know, that would be good. What I don't want to see is a 10 to 20 minute drag out, slow pace match that makes you realize that these guys are super past their prime and they can't wrestle no more.
That's valid.
You know, but let it be like the greatest hits. If you can do it like a 5 minute just greatest hits match, you know, and end on a high note, I'm good for it, man. But I definitely don't want to see a long, drawn-out match because, dude, if you watch the other Undertaker matches from Saudi Arabia, it's so rough. But you're right, man. Honestly, I was kind of cynical on that. I'm excited if they do it right. If they do it right, awesome. You know, it's just tough, man. It's tough watching.
I do want to add, though, I will take my opinion back if you don't end the match with a tombstone. If you end the match with a jackhammer, you lost me. Goodbye. I don't want to see you no more. You got to end it with the tombstone. You got it. Goldberg has to lose. Goldberg has to lose. Because out of the two, Undertaker's a bigger legend.
Dude, there's no way that Vince is going to let WCW's Goldberg beat WWF's Undertaker.
But at the same time, Vince McMahon let Brock.
No way. Like, Goldberg is a guaranteed loss in that match. Not a chance in hell.
Everybody thought Brock was a guaranteed loss, and then all of a sudden you had the guy in the crowd with the
who won in the end, though? You know, who won in the end between Goldberg and Brock, man? It was Brock.
Yeah, that's valid.
You know, I know what you're talking about with Brock and the Undertaker. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that was. You know, it is what it is.
Like I said it, I'll say it again. I'm new, but I was in and out. I was in at that time, and I was so mad.
I'm gonna send after we go off the air. I'm gonna send you a couple. I'm gonna send you the promo package I mentioned earlier. I'm gonna send you Goldberg and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam.
Word.
God, I love that match. And then maybe I'll send you the WrestleMania one. You have the WWE Network.
Yes.
So you can just watch it there. But
right.
Yeah. Well, anyways, last question. Are you excited for Bray Wyatt's new gimmick? Of course we're excited. Okay? Well, I am. Rob doesn't get it, but I am. Bray Wyatt's amazing. Pass that torch. But
okay. I'll bring it up again. Guys, this will be the next episode. I won't bring it up as many times as I'm the new guy. I was on the outside. I wasn't watching, but I do understand how big a deal the Wyatt family was. I also understand that Rowan is now Daniel Bryan's bitch boy, but he used to be part of the Wyatt family. So I wasn't in, but I understand enough that he was part of that. And I understand how big a deal it is to bring Bray Wyatt back to our hearts. So I am excited. I wasn't there the first time. I'll be there this time. And the Slipknot mask. I mean, come on. Like,
well, anyways, that's I think that's a longer episode than anyone's will.
Yes.
So,
valid.
Thank you guys for joining us. Y'all have a great time. Check us out next time on our SmackDown recap. Y'all have a great evening.
Yeah, buddy.